Looking back over the last few lectures, the final question we wanted to ask and answer was that everyday landscape, how to be seen. As we have researched the distribution of the cultural landscape in Hangzhou, we selected 3 plots of land at the same latitude for our slice and dice study. Then we conclude the challenges each plot might have, and we mainly focus on the relationship between their cultural relics and everyday landscapes. So we want to relieve the pressure of popular scenic spots and revitalizing the surrounding landscape by creating more characteristic places in each plot to attract more visitors. For 2A, we first searched the local population and tried to understand our target population. And we find that lots of cultural relics are scattered and have not yet formed the overall tourism path. So we proposed the challenge, how to strain the daily landscape to meet the tourism needs of both residents and tourists. The first strategy is to connect the cultural landscape with main roads. The second is to strain the vernacular landscape by creating new routes. For 2B, we found that the density of cultural relics is really high, and the routes around Westlake is overcrowded. So we want to answer that how to decentralize the tourism pressure from the Westlake scenic area to the surrounding potential tourism areas. The strategy is to divert. To evacuate tourists from this plot towards city area and rural area. For 2C, we conducted fabric identification of everyday landscape and identified 4 characteristic fabrics. Due to the existence of the airport, the waiting crowd in 2C is the potential visitors of tourism, and they can kill time by visiting the daily landscape. Our challenge is how to show the local culture through tour routes for passengers waiting to board a plane. The strategy is to reinforce. A fabric system was constructed by combining the linear distribution pattern of cultural relics of the Grand Canal with 2 kinds of ornamental fabric in the sites. The main culture corridor is along the river, to reinforce the river-dwelling culture. The culture branch lets people into the fields. We identified all places fit this fabric structure. We designed strain, reinforced routes to connect everyday landscape and cultural relics, activate everyday landscape, and design the divert strategy to ease the pressure of tourism hotspots. Second, bicycle stations are set in the routes for tourists to rest and park bicycles. After riding for a period of time, tourists can continue to walk and visit the site to feel the everyday landscape and daily culture of the site. According to the characteristics of sample, we identified sites similar to sample in the Excel range, which can form everyday landscape travel routes for 2 to 3 days, and meanwhile ease the travel pressure of culturally concentrated areas.